All right, so today we've got a Taisun Phommachanh film breakdown from his game against Toledo this past weekend. And I think Taisun Phommachanh has been a real bright spot of this UMass team. And although they are now 1-6 heading into Penn State weekend, um, I think that there's a lot of bright spots to look at when you see Taisun Phommachanh, when you see him play. So I just wanted to go over this game and what we saw from him overall. So let's start off with the bad, just because you want to put that out there early, see what you're working with. So this is early in the game, and right here, this is just a ball where this is something I've noticed from Phommachanh quite a bit. Um, whether it was watching his film before he came to UMass or just overall this season, sometimes when he gets pressure like this right here, he will not really step into the throw, and it causes him to underthrow balls and spike the ball at his receiver's feet. So right here, let's see it quick. He really doesn't step into this. He kind of just tries to get it out quickly, and it falls well short of the receiver on third down, where, if this ball is placed better, if you place this, at his helmet or so, or a little bit more towards the sideline, he's probably able to pick up the first down. But instead, he just spikes it into the dirt. All right, next play here, we've got an interception, and this was actually, I think, 2 plays after George Johnson went down with a tough injury. And at this point, they were without Anthony Simpson and George Johnson, so you have your 2 biggest weapons out, and I think Taisun is just trying to make something happen and trying to do too much. So, down by 2 scores, just wants to try to throw this ball up here, give his receiver a chance, but instead he really just completely airmails this ball, and is intercepted. Obviously, a bad throw, nothing really to take the blame off of this one. Definitely a mistake by Phommachanh. Next play here, this is a similar situation where he's trying to make something happen, down by 3 scores now with just 6 minutes to play. They've got 1 timeout, but it is second down. And Phommachanh is kind of looking at Campiotti, who's going to be running down the seam. So he gets to this point where he sees, okay, Campiotti is about to beat the defender. I'm just going to throw up a ball and see if he can get it. So he releases it, overthrown, and ends up being an incompletion. A little bit of a dangerous throw for both Campiotti, and just it could have been an interception, but you have to understand where he's coming from. The only reason why I did include this in here is because, if you go back here, he's got Mark Pope running wide open across the middle of the field. I think Phommachanh could just check this down to him, and he's probably able to easily pick up the first down, maybe even get out of bounds. As you see, I mean, there's a lot of space to run here. So, I think, again, Phommachanh trying to do a little bit too much. All right, next play. This is a bit nitpicky here, but 28 seconds left. UMass with just 1 timeout. They've got to get into scoring position. Got to try to kick a field goal. So it's just going to be a quick route across the middle to Christian Wells at the top of your screen. But one thing that makes some quarterbacks, I think, at the highest level so good, and when I say this, I'm talking about guys like Brock Purdy, guys like Tua Tagovailoa, who, they're not the most skilled in terms of, by NFL caliber, but they're so good at putting the ball in the right spot, allowing their receivers to get yards after catch, because they have such incredible weapons. I think UMass has something similar where, not that they have, the most incredible weapons, but I think it's the best part of their game, and they're a team that is designed off yards after catch. They need that yak to be successful. So what Phommachanh has to do is he has to be able to get the ball to them where they can run after the catch. So here, 28 seconds left, Phommachanh looking for Christian Wells across the middle, throws this one, a nice athletic catch, but Christian Wells makes this catch in a spot where there's really nowhere he can go after he comes down with it, because the defender's going to be right there. If this ball is out in front of him, he's able to keep running, maybe make a man miss and pick up some more yardage, but instead catches it, gets brought down. So that, again, just a nitpicky thing from Phommachanh that you'd like to see get a little better. Into this next play. So here, this is the final, I guess, bad play that I'll talk about here, but um, this is a play where Phommachanh has to evade the sack early on in the game and throwing off an awkward base, which is okay for him. He's a type of guy that has the arm strength to still make good throws from a weird base, but definitely not the ideal throwing position. And he has George Johnson here, who he's just not able to get the ball to. This ball has to be a little bit further out in front if this loads. Yeah, you see Zachary Ford, the DB, is able to knock that one away um, for the pass breakup. So kind of a dangerous underthrown ball. You'd like to see this ball more towards the sideline, but instead it's broken up. So we'll see it from a better angle here. Phommachanh does a really nice job avoiding this sack here. But then right here, he's got him open. He's got to lead him pretty far over, like down the field. And instead, it's kind of not a very strongly thrown ball. Ford gets a hand on it and does not get through to George Johnson. And, you know, some would argue, well, if he throws it too far to the sideline, you got this DB here. But this DB has his back turned to Phommachanh. Phommachanh. There's nothing he's going to be able to do to break up this pass. So you could really throw this ball all the way over here, and nothing's going to happen. But yeah, just another thing. All right, now we got our next play, and this is super interesting. This is the very next play, and almost an identical throw for Taisun Phommachanh. So this time, you got an RPO, somehow spins out of this sack right here. Spins out of the sack, running out, cross body, has to make this throw to George Johnson, who is blanketed. Johnson's able to make the catch, keep running because he's got incredible athleticism. This play ended up getting called back because of a BS ineligible man downfield, but that's a different conversation. So here we'll get a better look here. Evades the sack, and right now they enter scramble drill. So George Johnson is just going to book it towards the sideline. Phommachanh looking for someone to get open, sees Johnson, and makes a perfect throw leading him. This is the part where I'm talking about the yak. George Johnson and Anthony Simpson are both so good at this, but watch this as athleticism. This is such a difficult thing to do for anyone, to make this catch running top speed and turn on a dime to stay in bounds, stay on his feet, and get extra yardage. So watch how basically almost horizontal. You talk about bend in defensive ends. George Johnson has that right here. I mean, look at this. That is ridiculous. To stay in bounds, stay on his feet. And that's what makes these receivers, I think, so good. How athletic they are. So I know it's not a George Johnson video, but I had to mention that. All right, this is going to be kind of the premise of this overall video, I think, and this is going to be how Phommachanh handled the RPOs in this game, and I think he did it just about as good as he could have done it. So here we see Phommachanh. He's looking towards the middle of this field. You've got all these defensive backs, and he's mainly looking at this safety because he wants to go to Anthony Simpson here in the slot, who's going to be running kind of a deeper slant to a post route. So he sees this, sees the defender crashing down, and he knows that he's going to have Simpson running an in-breaking route here open. So he throws it in there, and my goodness, what a throw. This is a very tight window. Puts it in a spot where Simpson can keep running, pick up a first down on 2nd and 15, and much more. And that's exactly what you need to do with a team like this. So we're going to see this from a better angle here. But you see his eyes looking to see what he's going to do. And pulls it back, fires this one. Perfect. I mean, it does not get better than this throw by Taisun Phommachanh. Absolutely ridiculous with the accuracy here and zipping that ball into a tight window. All right, so Taisun Phommachanh, since he came back against Arkansas State, has only run one time where it was like, you know, he really did have the choice to run. And that was on this play here. So 3rd and 11, this is a big third down. You're trying to get some points to take the lead or at least tie up the game in the second quarter, 3rd and long. So right now, the defenders know he's not running. They're rushing 3. They're pretty much giving him a bunch of cushion. They're okay with him trying to run because they're not too concerned about it. They don't think he's going to. He realizes this, so he tucks it. You could see him kind of limping. He's not, I mean, I wouldn't say limping, but he's definitely not running full speed here. And then boom, spin move, first down. That is the type of dynamic athlete that he is. And I think by him forcing himself to be more of a pocket passer with this injury, it kind of makes that running ability even more dangerous because you get to plays like these in big plays where the defense is not really focused on it, and it ends up being relatively easy. So he picks up the first down here. All right, so here we've got yet another RPO, again to Anthony Simpson here in the slot. This time it's actually much easier because these linebackers are going to drop down quick as soon as Phommachanh kind of fakes to run it. So once this plays, here we go. Linebackers drop down. This cornerback is sagging, maybe in zone coverage. So Simpson just wide open here, right up the middle of the field. Allows him to run after the catch and pick up the first down. Here you see it from a better angle. Boom, perfect. This is the best throw that I have seen from a UMass quarterback this season or an opposing quarterback against UMass this season. And this is a beautiful pass to Anthony Simpson here. So Phommachanh, we'll see him take the snap here, dropping back right around the 22-yard line. He's got a free rusher right here. It looks like he notices him pretty soon. So he knows he's got to get the ball off quick, knows he's going to take a lick, throws it, gets drilled, and boom. I mean, that is just a perfect throw to Anthony Simpson, who's able to put on the afterburners and score a huge touchdown to make it a 3-point game. We're going to see a better angle of this. I mean, he takes a shot by the defensive back here. And then just look where this ball is placed to Anthony Simpson. I mean, literally not even breaking stride for a moment. Able to catch this ball, use that speed to his advantage, and score a big touchdown. And, you know, Taisun Phommachanh fired up. We're going to see that here and after the next play that I show you. And that next play is this trick pass, basically. I wouldn't say trick pass, but fake handoff, fake end around. So you see all of these guys are dropping down into the box. They're seeing this. They know, okay, or they think somebody is going to get the ball handed off to them. We've got to be ready for that. George Johnson kind of looks like he's going to block, and then he's going to turn upfield and just blow by everyone. So Phommachanh notices that. Nice, easy throw, not overthrowing him, knowing he has plenty of space to get that one in there. Just wants him to make the catch easily for the touchdown. Simple throw, but you got to execute the simple ones, and he did that on this one. And then you're going to see him again here, and you got to feel for a guy like Phommachanh, who clearly has all of the talent in the world, 4-star recruit, got recruited by Dabo Swinney at Clemson. Didn't get playing time, struggled with injuries, now at UMass, still struggling with injuries, but finally relatively healthy, getting playing time, and really balling out. Don Brown has spoken very, very highly about his character. And, I mean, you see him getting fired up. Such a great thing to see. All right, next play here. This was another deep ball. It's about a 45-yard bomb here by Phommachanh that was incomplete because of a holding that was not called. But, I mean, again, just a perfectly placed ball. You see that standing in the pocket, hits Pope in the left hand. He's not really able to get that right hand out there because, I mean, look at this holding. It is ridiculous. He starts holding him that we can see on screen right here. And then ball placed pretty much in a perfect spot. You could argue you want it out a little bit more in front, but I mean that's pretty damn good. So a really nice job by Phommachanh. You can see it from another angle here, just exactly where this ball was placed. All right, we've got a couple more RPOs coming up, this time to Anthony Simpson, not this time, again to Anthony Simpson. So right here, he's looking at these defenders up the middle. So this is actually a very difficult throw. So at this point, with DeWosier in the game, these linebackers are staying put. They're not really dropping down like they have been, especially since it's not K'Ron Lynch-Adams in the game. So they're giving a little bit of cushion. They know that Phommachanh will throw it. With that being said, Phommachanh knows he wants to throw this ball. So what he can do here is, instead of faking the handoff, he's going to use his eyes to manipulate the defenders. So if you see here, he looks to this side of the field. This linebacker breaks that way. And then there's a safety up here that you can't see who also starts to break that way. At this point, he knows that he's going to have Simpson up the middle of the field. So he's going to turn back and make the throw once this loads. Yeah, it makes this throw and puts it in a spot where it's perfect, because both of these defensive backs, neither of them can really lay a huge hit on him. And Simpson's able to pick up the big first down. And again, didn't lead him this time, but I think that was on purpose, because if you lead your receiver here, I mean, this could be a pick or just a clobbering that could happen to Simpson. So perfect throw. We're going to see this from a better angle coming up soon. And this is probably my favorite angle that we'll have. So you see Hook here, number 25. He's watching Phommachanh, and I apologize because the referee is going to get in the way of this camera shot a little bit, but he sees Phommachanh looking this way, and he starts to break that way. You see him, he breaks that way, and right as he starts to break, Phommachann's going to come back towards the middle of the field. At this moment, Hook realizes that Simpson's going to run right behind him, because, I mean, first of all, Simpson is running full speed going that way. I mean, and Toledo, this defender, number 25, he has his momentum going towards his left. So there's really nothing he can do here, and Phommachann's able to throw it right behind him and put it in just a perfect spot for Anthony Simpson, who's going to make the catch. And one thing I noticed here, Simpson came out of the game, I think, right around here. Looks like he may have rolled his ankle on this play. I believe he came back into the game, but I was watching this film and I didn't recall when he got hurt in the game, because he came off under his own power and all that stuff, which is a good thing. But if you look there, kind of rolled that ankle very, very quickly. But maybe that's where that injury may have happened. So hopefully he's all right and he's ready for Penn State. All right, this is just another nice throw by Phommachanh. He's going to make this defender bite by faking towards Simpson. Ford has to go cover him, and that's going to leave George Johnson open, since this receiver, I think that's Christian Wells, is running a clear-out route. So what that means is this defensive back is going to have to run with him, which leaves a little crease right here for George Johnson to slip in between. So Ford drops down. Ford is trying to communicate, saying, someone get George Johnson. So nice job by Ford, but there's not really enough bodies to stop that, and the safety's not able to pick him up in time. It's a first down. So you'll see, nice throw. This is a play simple play, but something that I want to see more of from Taisun, and that is knowing when to take your shots and when to take your checkdowns. I think this is a problem that any young, talented quarterback has to struggle with at any level. I mean, you look at guys like Josh Allen. I mean, there's plenty of guys that I can't exactly think of, but Josh Allen is really top of mind for guys that, they have the talent. It's just a matter of making the right decisions, and this is an example of Taisun realizing, you're not going to have everything there every play. So, right now, Toledo dropping back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in coverage, a 4-man rush. All of them are behind the line to gain. So Phommachanh, he recognizes that pretty quickly, and he's kind of looking down the field, sees nothing available, knows that he's got his playmaker here, K'Ron Lynch-Adams. So all he's going to do is shovel it to him. Lynch Adams makes a man miss, picks up the first down, and that's all you really need to do. Get the ball into your playmaker's hands. I can't stress enough how important Yak is in this offense, and this is just a perfect example. For this next play, you've got George Johnson running deep. This is another crazy ineligible man downfield call that gets the touchdown called back. But look at this incredible throw. First of all, you've got a rusher coming in here that Phommachanh manages to avoid once this loads. I don't know how he feels that coming, but somehow he knows to step up in the pocket right here. Has number 56 coming in his blind side, steps up, and then he's going to make a deep throw while getting hit pretty hard. And look where this ball is placed. Back shoulder, perfect for an incredible catch by George Johnson. Was called a touchdown on the field. Obviously, was never reviewed or anything because of the penalty flag, but, I mean, this is a fantastic throw, fantastic catch, and part of the reason why I am so excited about what George Johnson can do, and also Phommachanh, as we're going to see this from a slightly better angle. So Phommachanh evades the sack, throws it up, pretty deep throw, and it's impressive to have a deep throw like this be so on the money. And look at this catch by George Johnson. I mean, that is not an easy position to be in to make a catch, especially with Zachary Ford guarding you, who is one of the better defensive players in the entire MAC conference. And look at that catch. Gets the foot down. And then his heel, I think, hits the pylon, which is considered inbounds. So would have been a touchdown. And then one last play here. We've got another RPO for Phommachanh. We'll go through his read again, but this time just one linebacker right there. It's Dallas Gant, who's first team All-MAC preseason. He's looking for Sean Harris here up the middle. And another thing you can't really see is there's a safety charging in. That's another guy that he's looking at. This safety charges in, so that's when Phommachanh knows that he can fit this ball behind the safety to Sean Harris, who's in single coverage. So once this loads, he's able to throw that ball in there a little bit behind Sean Harris, but he's an athlete able to make the play. You're going to see it one last time from this angle. Throws it in there. And, I mean, you'd like to see that ball placed a little bit in a better spot. As you can see here, Sean Harris does have to come back for it. But he got the throw down. It was open enough where it didn't really matter. So, good to see from Phommachanh.